I never thought I'd be the type to stay late at the office. I'm Derek Matthews, 31, a software engineer with a penchant for routine. I thrive on structure, on predictability, the gentle hum of fluorescent lights, the rhythmic tapping of keyboards echoing in the open floor plan, the comforting presence of coworkers who clock out promptly at 5. I'm the guy who sets his coffee maker to brew at exactly 7 a.m., who eats lunch at the same spot by the windows every day, and who leaves the office as soon as the clock strikes 5. It's a comfortable existence, one that has kept my life orderly and manageable. But that evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting the office in a muted glow, I found myself drawn into the stillness of an empty space. The monitors flickered, their screens displaying lines of code that felt almost alive in the silence. I leaned back in my chair, stretching my arms above my head, when I noticed her. Clara. At 36, she was my team lead, but she carried herself with an air of authority that felt almost maternal, yet decidedly alluring. Her dark hair fell in soft waves around her shoulders, framing a face that was both sharp and kind. She had piercing green eyes that could slice through the most complex problems, and a smile that could light up the dullest of days. There was a confidence in the way she moved, the way she commanded the room, that made my heart race in ways I couldn't quite understand. "Mind if I take a look at your code?" she asked, sliding into the chair beside mine, our shoulders brushing. The warmth of her presence sent a jolt through me, electrifying the air between us. I swallowed hard, nodding as I tried to focus on the screen, my heart pounding against my ribcage like a trapped bird. "Sure," I replied, my voice a bit hoarse. She leaned closer, her perfume, a subtle blend of jasmine and something citrusy, wafting over me. It was intoxicating, a scent that felt like a warm embrace, wrapping around me, making it hard to think straight. I felt the heat of her body next to mine, an intoxicating mix of professionalism and something more complicated. As she scrolled through my work, the overhead lights flickered, casting shadows that danced across her face. "You know," she said, her tone shifting, "you work better when you stop pretending to be calm." Her eyes, deep and piercing, locked onto mine, and in that moment, I felt the weight of her gaze as it unraveled something inside me. "What do you mean?" I asked, stalling for time, my heart thrumming with a mix of anxiety and intrigue. I knew I was a creature of habit, but was my facade of calmness that transparent? I had always prided myself on keeping my emotions in check, especially in a professional setting. "Just what I said. You're too composed. It's okay to feel a little anxious. You're not going to be judged here." Her words hung in the air, charged with an unspoken challenge. I hesitated, my mind racing. Was she really implying what I thought she was? I could feel the distance between us shrinking, an invisible thread pulling taut, and for the first time, I wondered what lay beyond the carefully constructed walls of our professional relationship. "Lock the door," she said suddenly, her voice dropping to a low whisper that sent a thrill down my spine. "No one's coming back." The hallway outside felt different once the lock clicked into place, the sound echoing in the silence. It was as if we had crossed an invisible line, sealing ourselves in a bubble where anything could happen. Clara didn't move away. Instead, she leaned against the glass window behind us, arms crossed, her gaze steady on me. "You're thinking too much," she said, the hint of a smile playing on her lips. "Just let it flow." I was acutely aware of the tension between us, the air thick with unspoken words. I could feel the heat radiating from her, a magnetic pull that threatened to consume us both. And yet, there was a fear gnawing at me, the instinctive need to retreat, to keep things as they were. I had always believed in boundaries, in keeping my personal life separate from my work life, but Clara was challenging those beliefs in ways I had never anticipated. "Clara, this isn't—" I started, but she cut me off. "Derek," she said, her voice firm yet gentle, "I can see the way you look at me. You're not fooling anyone, least of all yourself. The weight of her words settled over me like a heavy blanket. I struggled to maintain eye contact, my heart racing as I grappled with the implications. Did she really see me? Did she understand the longing that simmered just beneath the surface? I shouldn't, I stammered, my throat dry. This is just work. But the words felt weak, a flimsy excuse against the tide of desire threatening to sweep me away. Is it? She challenged, stepping closer, the space between us shrinking further. I could see the glimmer of mischief in her eyes, a spark that sent my pulse racing. What if we let go of the pretense, just for tonight? In that moment, the world outside ceased to exist. The office, with its cold walls and flickering lights, became a sanctuary, a place where our desires could be explored without judgment. The hum of the air conditioning faded into the background, replaced by the sound of our breathing, quickening in tandem. "Clara?" I said, my voice barely above a whisper, but I couldn't find the words to express the turmoil inside me. The thrill of possibility clashed with the fear of crossing a line that could never be uncrossed. What would happen if we gave in? Would we be able to return to the way things were? Or would everything shift irrevocably? Her eyes softened, and for the first time, I saw vulnerability flicker behind her confident facade. "I know this is risky," she said, her voice low and soothing. "But sometimes the best things come from taking a leap of faith." I could feel the sincerity in her words, a gentle nudge urging me to embrace the unknown. The hesitation hung in the air, thick and suffocating, as I wrestled with my emotions. I wanted to lean in, to close the gap that separated us, but a voice in my head screamed for caution. What would happen if we crossed that line? The office would never feel the same. Our dynamic would shatter irreparably. But Clara was relentless, her gaze unwavering as she took another step closer, her shoulder brushing against mine again, sending a shockwave through my body. "You're not the only one who feels this," she said, and I could see the flicker of something deeper in her eyes. Desire, perhaps, or the thrill of the unknown. "I've seen the way you look at me too, Derek. You can't deny it." "Are you saying that you?" I began, but the question hung in the air, unformed and heavy, fraught with implications. What was she really suggesting? Was I ready to explore this connection that seemed to pulse between us like a living thing? "Let's not overthink this." She was so close now I could feel her warmth, her breath mingling with mine, creating an intoxicating blend of fear and longing. "Just be here with me, okay?" Her voice was soft yet insistent, weaving a spell that made it hard for me to resist. The words resonated, shattering the walls I had built around myself. I wanted to give in, to surrender to the moment, but the stakes felt impossibly high. What if this was a mistake? What if I lost everything I had worked for? I couldn't help but think of the consequences, the potential fallout from crossing this boundary. My mind raced with the possibilities. Disapproving glances from coworkers, awkward encounters in the break room, or worse, the end of my career if things went south. Yet, as I looked into her eyes, I saw not just a colleague, but a kindred spirit, someone who understood the weight of expectation and the thrill of possibility. With a resolve I didn't know I had, I leaned in closer, allowing the tension to build between us. The air crackled with anticipation, and I could feel the pull of her energy drawing me in further. Just as I was about to take that final step, the faint sound of footsteps echoed in the hallway, breaking the spell that had enveloped us. My heart raced as I pulled back, the reality of our situation crashing down around me. The moment slipped away like sand through my fingers, and I was left grappling with the panic of being almost caught. "Did you hear that?" I asked, my voice a breathless whisper, my mind racing with the implications of being discovered. Clara straightened, her expression shifting from playful to alert. "It's probably just someone forgetting something," she said, but the tension was palpable, the atmosphere heavy with unspoken words. The thrill of the moment faded, replaced by a sense of urgency as we both realized how precarious our situation was. I moved to unlock the door, my fingers trembling as I fumbled with the key. The sound of footsteps grew louder, and I felt a rush of anxiety course through me. What if someone walked in? What would they think? The fear of exposure loomed large, threatening to unravel everything we had almost crossed into. The weight of secrecy pressed down on my chest, making it hard to breathe. "Derek," Clara said, her voice low but firm, "don't let fear dictate your choices." I turned to her, caught between the urge to flee and the desire to stay. Her eyes were fierce, filled with an intensity that pulled at me, but the moment felt fragile, teetering on the edge of something profound yet terrifying. "Are you sure?" I asked, the question laced with vulnerability. This could change everything. I was painfully aware of the gravity of our situation, the potential for everything to shift irrevocably. "Sometimes change is necessary," she replied, stepping closer, her presence a comforting anchor amidst the chaos. "What's the worst that could happen?" Her words hung in the air, a challenge and an invitation all at once. The footsteps faded, leaving only silence in their wake. I took a deep breath, my heart pounding, and for a moment, time stood still. The office, our workplace, transformed into a cocoon of possibilities, a space where we could explore this connection without the weight of expectations or judgment. "Clara," I said, my voice steadying, "I want to explore this, but I don't want to lose our professional relationship. I value that too much." The thought of jeopardizing my career, my stability, was terrifying, but the pull towards Clara was equally strong. She smiled, a glimmer of understanding in her eyes. "We'll figure it out as we go. But for now, let's just be honest with each other." Her words were a promise, a commitment to navigate this new territory together, no matter how daunting it might be. With that, I made my decision. I locked the door once more, sealing us inside our own little world, and turned to face her. In that moment, I understood that this was more than just a fleeting connection. It was a chance to delve into the depths of our emotions, to confront the fears that had held us back. Clara stepped forward, her hand brushing against my arm, igniting a fire within me. I felt the weight of her touch, the warmth of her skin against mine, and I knew that whatever happened next, we would navigate it together. The world outside faded into irrelevance, leaving only the two of us, suspended in a moment that felt both exhilarating and terrifying. As we stood there, the air thick with anticipation, I felt a sense of hope blossoming within me. This was not just the beginning of something forbidden. It was an opportunity to redefine our connection, to explore the uncharted waters of our desires without losing ourselves in the process. In that dimly lit office, we were two souls on the brink of something beautiful, ready to embrace the unknown. And as we locked eyes, I knew that whatever lay ahead, we would face it together. Fragile, uncertain, but undeniably alive. The hum of the fluorescent lights faded into a distant memory, and in that moment we were free, unbound by the rules we had once lived by.